Zombies. I, Cole, has always had a fascination with the zombie genre. The idea of the world collapsing due to some kind of sickness that turns people into walking or sometimes running corpses was such an interesting concept to me. But the best part of all these shows is how they start off being about these man-eating creatures. But it always takes a shift and begins to talk about the ruthlessness of humanity, especially when there is no one to stop us from our true nature. How they will show how lawlessness and fear turns us into animals, justifying our every action no matter how evil we become. There's always a point where someone says some stereotypical line like, "I did what I had to survive." And you as the viewer has to decide whether they actually believe that, or are they just saying that to clear their own conscience from the heinous things they did. Anyways, I'm here to talk about Zombies and Titties, the best anime from 2010, High School of the Dead. Roll the clip!
Let go of me! Damn it, bitch! I said let go!
That's not the right clip, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it. This show is really easy to explain what it's about. A bunch of high schoolers try to survive the zombie apocalypse with big boobies. That's pretty much it. To be fair, there really isn't much for the story to go on. I mean, it's one of those, if you've seen a zombie show, you've seen them all kind of thing, but that's fine because the adventure alone keeps you invested. The whole plot gets moved along by the characters trying to see if their families are safe, and for them to find that out, they of course have to survive. That, like most zombie shows, is the underlying theme of the story. All the main characters in the show are the only ones with any slice of personality. The rest of the characters are just copy-paste dumb adults who deny anything the kids say, or dumb kids who just follow the adults around. Just look at these dick suckers, bro. Even though the main cast is the only people in this show with a shred of personality, they're still pretty basic stereotypical anime characters. I mean, there's Hot Asuna, the dumb blonde, the annoying smart girl, don't put your dick in crazy, you, and Giga Chad Takashi. The only difference between these characters and all the other anime characters out there is that the girls are actually hot, and Takashi actually smashes. Extreme silence. Takashi is one of the most refreshing anime characters I've ever seen. This man Takashi is just built different. My man's looked this girl in the eyes and rizzed her up 5 minutes after her man died. This man Takashi is on a whole different Riz level. How did he get away with this? This? Or this? Yes, this is the same girl he rizzes up 20 minutes later. Also, to wrap this section up, everyone's basic except for my guy Takashi. Every zombie show needs some kind of gimmick to add to the show so that it's not just creatures running around in corridors. They can be as bland as The Walking Dead with their zombies just walking forever, or as cool as The Last of Us with them having such variety such as clickers, floaters, and the other big thing. Either way, all the zombie shows need something to add to them to make them stand out. And High School of the Dead's gimmick was to make the zombies blind. This obviously isn't one of the cooler gimmicks, but it allows the author to write their characters out of sticky situations without it feeling super stale and basic. For example, there's an episode where the main character just saved a little girl, but is currently surrounded by zombies. So he decides, because they can't see, I can just tightrope my way to the edge of the street and jump in the car with my friends again. Even though the type of zombies in this world are boring, it still gives the characters another chance to find a creative way out of the situation, which is a really cool thing to add to your story. This show is incredibly entertaining. The characters are constantly moving from location to location, which allows the story to stay at a steady pace. It also makes sense that they move around as much as they do because they aren't a zombie show. So when all they seem to be doing is constantly running or fighting, it actually works for the story. Speaking of fighting, the fights in this show are choreographed much better than you would actually think, especially for it to be mostly ecchi anime. The characters use damn near anything to get an advantage in a fight, and I love that because it makes the fight feel way more dynamic and natural in a life or death scenario. Oh, my friends are surrounded? What should I do? Oh, I don't know. Throw a motorcycle at them. Anyways, the way they mix fan service and intense moments is done fantastically as well. I mean, I know most of us have seen this infamous scene, even if you haven't watched the show. This girl's titties were moving at least 2,000 miles per hour to have dodged that bullet. The fan service in this show is distracting at times, but it's an ecchi, so what can you expect? I mean, you can't go 30 seconds in this show without a penny shot or a boob jiggle. And honestly, that is a bit much, but to be honest, I'm more here for the zombies than the titties. If you're not interested in fan service and zombies, I would probably give this one a skip. If it actually doesn't bother you, then this will not be in your top 5. Your top 10, probably even your top 20. But it will be an enjoyable ride and a great show to talk about with your friends. I mean, let me just see that scene one more time. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm so exhausted right now, so if you would like to support a descendant from Africa who also likes anime, drop a like and possibly subscribe. I'm gonna go get some sleep. Good night.